minute igen. Or, yeah, hi. 1 minute to go. So, we love starting on time.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't ever come late, do we?
No,
Even when we have events and stuff. We like getting there early.
of course.
Yeah. So, yeah, we still have a little bit.
Can do a few more stitches.
Lots of people already coming in, which is great. As usual, they're coming from all over the world. Germany and
Hi,
from
hi.
Germany there, the US, and yeah, lots of people coming in. Oh, excited people about the Neralong. We've got news for you guys. Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Sit in It for a Bit live with Arne and Carlos. And we are, as always, your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
And we are back with yet another live Sit in It for a Bit from our home here in the mountains in Norway. And we are very happy to be here as usual.
Yeah,
We've
we're
been
in the Christmas room.
Yeah, we're in the Christmas room, which it has no longer the Christmas stuff in it. And we're sitting in our tomato red couch, I guess. Well, Kate has her very special lime green couch, and we don't want to compare ourselves to her, but we do have a tomato red sofa, so or couch or whatever you call it.
And we have sun in this room in the evenings.
Yeah, spring is here.
For a second.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 5 seconds of sun.
Yep.
Because the sun has come over the storage house and now it's going towards the west.
Yeah, I would say today is the first day that I had really those spring feels.
Yeah, it smelled like spring.
And our
Even
neighbor,
if there's the meter of snow.
yeah, there's still snow,
but it's wet.
And our neighbor who lives on the other side of the lake, but it's her summer house. She lives in Svalbard, which is the archipelago of islands, which is located between the North Pole and Norway. And she texted us today.
She sent a video, actually.
A video showing us that the sun has finally arrived in Svalbard. They have the eternal night for a few months, and now today was the first day for her to enjoy some sun. And today
there were people standing looking at the horizon, and you couldn't hardly see the sun. It was just light.
Yeah.
So I think it must be like maybe it's up for a second or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And in the past few days, the sun has started to enter our dining room and our living room. And that is a sure sign that spring is on its way. I did read a comment about somebody asking or who commented spring with a lot of question marks. Because yes, we have a lot of snow here. But spring still happens.
It feels like spring when the sun is shining.
Yeah, exactly.
And the snow is melting.
The snow is melting like crazy because it's really warm here right now.
Last evening I went with Freya into the woods on the other side of the lake, and it was so warm. So it was almost like raining because all the snow from the tree was melting. So.
And these few days we've been a bit weary of letting Freya out on her own, so we put on the leash and go out with her because we have been afraid that the snow from the roof might collapse. And if it would have collapsed over her, actually if it would have collapsed over us, it could have also killed us, literally. So. And this morning I heard a massive thump, and I looked out, and there was all the snow from the roof.
So now she can go out again.
Now she can go out again. There's no sun. There's no snow on our roof, neither here nor down in the little greenhouse that we have, or our little bathhouse, which is our guest house. No more snow on the roof. It's all on the ground. And also, I've been sitting in this room here today because we're doing some stuff in the other room where I usually sit. So I've been sitting here, and usually when we sit in this room and it's warm outside and the snow melts, it feels like, or for me, it's like sitting under a constantly flushing toilet that does not stop. And it's probably because of the pipes that we have, the drain. No, what's it called?
I think it's called drain.
The drains?
I don't know.
Yeah,
those pipes going
tell
down
us what it's
from
called.
the roof on the outside of the house.
Yeah.
And they were constantly,
water is running constantly, and
there's hope. We will have summer.
Yeah.
I even brought the catalog, the seeds, this season's
seeds catalog.
Seeds, but gutters.
Gutters, there we go. And today we had,
thank you
so much. And today we had a walk. We took a walk in the sun, and I didn't have to wear a hat. I didn't have to wear gloves or mittens, and I was walking with my jacket open. And when we got back, I had to take my jacket off outside because it was really warm. I mean, I was so warm.
There's other names also.
Yeah, well,
Drain pipes,
gutters, down pipes,
pipes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for the words. Thank you for all the
In
words.
Norwegian, it's takrenne.
Takrenne.
Tak
That'll
renne.
be the Norwegian word of the day.
Ja,
Takrenne.
takrenne.
Takrenna.
You can do it in dialect.
Yeah.
Takrenne.
Yeah, and there's one big difference between English language and Norwegian language, and it is that in English, when you use multiple words for something, you still actually separate them. But in Norwegian, we actually put them together so they become one word. So takrenna, it would be the same as a drain pipe. But in English, you write drain pipe as 2 words. In Norwegian, we write takrenne as 1 word, even if it is 2 words.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little, I don't know, a little fun fact.
I said, Gail asked if you have a sauna. We dream about having a sauna.
Really?
I dream about it.
I'm not a sauna kind of guy.
I found a nice one. I have a picture in one of my scrapbooks.
Yeah.
It's a circle. It's like a tynne. What's that?
Like a barrel?
Like a barrel.
Oh yeah.
Around the sauna, like a barrel, and you can actually, you put it in the garden on like fötter.
Yeah, on feet. Yeah.
I forgot. Now my English. I've been so confused today. That's why suddenly I have to talk.
I think it's all the spring feelings, you know.
No, but I've been looking for stuff today.
Oh,
and it's,
okay.
It's so.
Oh yeah,
confusing.
your cleaning project,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah. Anyway, now we have a Norwegian word of the day, takrenna. Let me repeat that again. And yeah, we have a lot of spring feelings. We did a shoot this weekend. We had Eric and Anna stay with us. We had a wonderful time as always. And before they came for the videos that we were recording, I also went out and I bought lots of spring flowers. So we've got a lot of bulbs for tulips and narcissus that we have in little terracotta pots in the dining room. I bought a lot of little primroses.
Primroses?
You can buy them now. You can buy them for 3 in a pack, and I got 6, and I put 3 of them on in a bowl. One of them is up in my bedside table, and then we've got 2 down here in the windowsill. Really, really lovely.
I think those are very nice. And you
they're
can
lovely.
You can put them in the garden in the spring.
And that's what we'll do. Once the snow melts, we'll take those primroses and we'll put them out in the garden.
And they come again next year.
And I also got my first bunch of tulips as well from the store. So I have tulips in a vase.
And you got your first something else. You also got another thing for the first time. We came from the grocery store and
the police stopped me.
Stopped us.
My first happening with the police.
You were a bit nervous.
Well,
because you didn't know. That you kept your.
Of course I was. So
you didn't drive too quick or anything.
there was one police car on one side of the road, and then there was another police car on the other side, and he was doing this, and I guess that means stop.
And I said you had to stop.
So of course, So I indicated, and I drove in, and I stopped. And then the policeman came to me, and as he was approaching me, I was very nervous. But then I saw that he had the thing that you need to blow, and so he said, "Hello, today we have a random control. So would you please blow into the machine?" And I said, "Oh," and then I was like, "Oof, thank God," because I hadn't drunk anything the day before, and I definitely had not drunk in the morning. This was at 11 in the morning.
But
so
it's still like when the police stop you, it's a bit scary.
Yeah, well, I blew the machine. I blew into the machine. He said, "Blow as hard as you can." I did. Yeah. And then he said, "Oh, 0.00. Have a nice day." And I drove.
But it's good. Like you have had your driver license for how long now? Like
4 months.
4 months, and then you had to blow.
5 months.
Alcohol test.
Yeah.
I think I had my driver license for many years before I was stopped.
Oh, okay. Well, 5 months. But I think it's good. I think it's good that they do these controls.
Yeah.
But after doing it, because it was like at 10:30 or something, I was thinking, who the hell
Who's drinking
drinks this early?
Well,
But
you never know. It's
yeah, you
always
never know.
5 o'clock somewhere in
yeah,
the world.
you never know. But I do
Or
those.
you could have been at the party the day before.
Yeah, but I would have done those in the afternoon or in the evening. I would have probably caught more people. And in Norway, the tolerance is very low. I think it's 0.02 or something ridiculously low. So you can't even have a glass of wine here and drive. You can probably have the bottom of a glass of wine. That's pretty much it.
I never drink if I know I have to drive the day after. Or...
Yeah, Arne has never had a drop of alcohol before getting in the car, and I follow by example. No, yeah, Arne leads by example, and I follow him. So it's the same. When we went to Sweden, we had a rental car when we went to visit my mom a couple of weeks ago. And for the rental car, it was easier to just put Arne as the driver because he was booking it. And we didn't want to pay. We didn't want to pay for an extra driver because why should we? So Arne was the one that drove. And then when that happens, the other one can't use the car in case of an accident and insurance.
That's fine.
It's okay. But anyway, so we arrive at home and Arne gets a glass of wine from my dad. And I said to my dad, I don't want any wine today. I'm not having any. So I start cooking and then we realize we forget breakfast or to buy breakfast. And I say to my dad, do you have, this and that? And he says, no, we have to go. And then we realized that Arne has had the glass of wine, or even not even that. You had maybe half a glass.
Yeah, but I didn't.
But we said no, and then I couldn't get in the car either because I couldn't drive it because of the insurance. So I said to my dad, can I borrow your car? And he said, yeah. So I borrowed my father's car, and I drove down to buy whatever we needed because there's no way.
You wouldn't have been caught in the rental car. That
No, I mean, it's, number one, if you have an accident in the rental car, the insurance is not valid. And number two, you had that glass of wine, and we're not going to break our rule that we never, ever, ever, sit down in the car with even a third of a glass of wine.
Yeah.
There's no way we're going to do that. But anyway, it was a fun experience. I've gotten stopped by the police, and and they were super nice. Weren't they really nice?
No, they were nice.
Yeah.
Because you...
And they smiled, and everything was
They
really...
didn't have anything on you.
The only thing that surprised me was that they didn't ask to see my driver's license.
No, they didn't. That was
surprising.
Surprising.
Yeah. But anyway, it was the adventure of the week after having that film weekend with Anna and Eric, which was a lot of fun. We had a great time
it was nice.
doing the filming. However, the
we
weather...
had planned a lot of filming outside or in the storage house, but it was so cold. It was minus 25 or
Celsius,
something down in the valley.
Which is around -2 in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and today it was plus...
I don't know, it must have been around 10.
10 maybe?
10 degrees in the middle of the day plus.
Huge difference.
Which is, I think, 50 or 60 in Fahrenheit. I think maybe 50. So yeah, we went from -2 Fahrenheit, so -20, to +10, which is I think 50 Fahrenheit, in the course of a day, and there was no way. When Eric and Anna got here, I mean, I just declared, I'm not going out.
No.
I am not.
And we had planned a
going
lot of videos
out.
for outside, but we couldn't. It was too cold.
It was too cold, so we had to rethink the episodes that we wanted to film, and then we filmed some other episodes indoors that we weren't gonna film anyway until later. So it worked out. It worked out. And Anna usually she's around, to take care of everything. But Eric was quite happy that he didn't have to go out. And sometimes when you're out in that cold, the cameras also they start acting up.
Yeah.
So all in all, yeah. I mean, we did go out for a very brief moment, and it was like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And I said to Eric, "This is it. I'm going in. I'm not going out." So yeah.
I think, is that the only thing that happened since last time? No, we got...
Oh, lots of things.
We got this...
yeah, lots of things have happened.
We had things.
But before we go into that, why don't we, you guys are in for a treat. PJ was not with us this weekend. He had another thing to do, so he was not able to come. It was just Anna, Eric, and Arne and I. So yeah, that meant I had to do the cooking. Usually he does, but I did.
He's a good cook.
He's a good cook, and he
even
always
brings the menu.
Yeah, he even makes
Like-
menus by hand. I think he lives a little bit in these Downton Abbey
I think
days.
yeah. But he's a really
He's a great
good
cook, and it's nice when he's here because then we don't have to cook. But I actually went and I bought everything for the weekend before they arrived, and I spent all of Friday prepping for the photo shoot. So I did all the cooking or most of the cooking on Friday and planned the menu and had having everything in order. They don't, Anna and Eric don't bring their children here. It actually only happened once that Anna couldn't get her husband to take them, so she brought her kids to.
That was nice.
They were
very
really
nice.
cool. I loved Anna's kids.
Yeah,
They were
very
they were, they really like talking to the adults. I think Isaac is like 6 years old and Eva is like 9 or something. They really like talking to adults, and they had a lot of fun stuff to tell us. And apparently Isaac, Anna's youngest, who is 6 years old, he told her, well, actually Anna told us this, that he said that he really liked our house. He said, Arne and Carlos's house, that really looks like what a house should look like, which we thought was very sweet.
That's a compliment.
That's a huge compliment coming from a 6-year-old with very good taste, I have to say.
I think they think we have so much stuff or something.
We do,
So it's
yeah.
fun to walk around and look.
Yeah.
And we don't think it's a lot of stuff.
No, I mean, we love all the stuff. No, it's very clean here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a treat for you guys on the weekend. We are doing a cooking episode on Sunday, and we are making the cake.
They are keep
From
your
Dolly.
eyes peeled.
Yeah, we're making the Southern banana cake in Sunday's episode, and we're not going to give away much, but we will say that it came out in, the results were mixed.
But it's good.
Mixed results, but
It's
all
a
in all, a delicious
very good
cake that we can highly recommend. So keep your eyes peeled for our Sunday episode.
The Arne and Carlos Bake Off.
Yeah, that's yeah. You know what?
We could actually do our own Bake Off,
If
and then we just kick the other one out every time.
yeah,
And then you're in again the next time.
if I ever got cast in the Great British Bake Off, I would probably leave the first. However, because we know that these shows are typecast, they cast people for different reasons, and they already know pretty much in advance who's going to win, and they know who they'll want to leave, who they will want to stay for a long time, because they will have, the audience on their side. I think if I were cast for alone, I would have probably left in the first episode because I am such a bad baker. But I think if Arne and I were cast together as a team, I
could
think
win.
we would have made it to the end.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure, maybe not win, but I
But the
think
other show, the Worst Baker, what's that called? Remember?
Yeah.
There was another show where there was like really bad cooks.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny, the 2 first
Yeah.
episodes, and suddenly they became very good.
I love the
It's
great.
funnier when they're bad.
Yeah, but no, I love the British Bake Off because it doesn't
Things
matter.
can go wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are, it can go really wrong.
Yeah.
And that's so funny, especially when the oven screws up the cake thing and they go, oh my God. And then you're falling in love with these people because some of them you fall in love with as personalities, and you don't want them to fail because you want them to advance to the next episode. So yeah. But anyway, they are
a nice
all
show.
yeah, it's a nice show, but they're all typecast and they know who's going to win the hearts of the people, and they keep those
Is the
people
one we're watching
longer.
now the newest one, or is it?
No,
it's
because
the
we're
old
still watching the ones with Mary Berry.
one. Mary Berry.
Yeah, apparently she leaves the show at some point, and then there's
Okay,
another.
because we get it from.
Yeah, we're watching it from our TV
Is it Norwegian
streaming.
TV?
Yeah,
Streaming, yeah. So
yeah,
we're probably way behind, but it's fun anyway.
yeah. We're way behind because there's like a lot of seasons, and we're we don't have time to watch these all the time. So we put them on now and then when we. January is a great month to watch TV. June, July, we're outside all the time, so it's not so good to watch TV. So yeah, that's how it happens.
Yes.
And yes, then there is also a sewing show, the Sewing Bee, the British Sewing Bee. It's exactly like the Bake Off, but even if we, I mean, for the Sewing Bee, we were actually asked. There's a Norwegian version of it, and we were asked by the TV company to be the judges of that, but then we didn't because of some issue, I think. So we never did become judges there, which is just as well. But anyway, I don't like this, the sewing bee as much as the bake-off, because I think that all the baking is so wonderful to watch. You watch, you know, the doughs that they do, and then if they put color in it, and then you know the oven and what happens in the oven, and you can't smell because it's you don't have that sense, but you can use your imagination and your fantasy.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I comment.
Okay.
You would win if I don't eat it.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I think
I eat everything.
I think the baking makes more better TV than the sewing. The sewing is boring, in my opinion, in TV, because it's not the same.
It's not the same.
No.
No.
Okay, Arne.
Okay.
About speaking of sewing, though.
Yeah, I've been cleaning again.
So what have you been cleaning
No,
today?
now I'm cleaning
More yarn?
knitting needles, because look, we keep the needles like this
Yeah,
and this.
like this. What a nightmare.
And it's even more. And it's, you know, when these fell over, it's a nightmare. Because sometimes they end up on the floor, and then you kick them and there's needles everywhere. So now I am
What a nightmare.
solving the problem.
Yeah.
So now, Carlos, we have to organize the needles.
Yeah.
We have to find the right size and match up. So we have 5 of each.
And I support you 100%.
Thank you. And then I'm making these things. So this is 3.5. I do that in embroidery. And
Which you're not allowed to do because of your arm.
No, but I'm doing it slowly.
So how is your arm? Many people are asking.
I still have the type. I got a new one, and I'm going back tomorrow. I probably get another one. But I think it's getting better. I'm very careful. So I only made the 3.5.
Yeah, so far.
So far. And then there's like 8 pockets in this one.
So you can put all your double points in
3.5 in this one.
And then I suggested to Arne that in the next one he should do it with 4 pockets, because we have a lot of double points. But if he does 4 pockets here and a big pocket there with a snap button, he could put the circulars in there.
And you don't need a button, actually, because I make this.
Oh, yeah, you make the flaps.
The flaps, so when you close it, they don't fall out when you put them upside down.
Yeah.
But we have so many knitting needles lying around, so I think we need a few with 3.5.
Yeah, and these are actually the fabrics that we designed, except for the gingham, that we designed in 2019 that didn't go very well because they ended up being promoted in Germany, not in the US. We're going to try again with fabrics. Hopefully we can launch a collection in 2024. These are no longer very available.
And this is number 2.
I love that one, though. This is a crazy quilt.
We made a lot of these crazy quilts, and we never, don't think we will sew them together. Actually, now they will become my knitting or our knitting books, needle books. And this is from our collection. This is swatches, and this is old gingham.
Yeah, this is also one of our fabrics, this blue one.
And also the one around. Yeah. And I was very optimistic because we bought a sewing table many years ago. And that's an incredible story. Yeah, and it was full of things.
But we didn't know that.
Like these ribbons, which we sew on.
We didn't know that. We bought the sewing table because it was beautiful, but we never thought of opening the drawers. And when we got home and opened the drawers, we had a big surprise, a very pleasant,
was so much nice
beautiful
stuff
surprise.
In there. Yeah. There were like old patterns. There were like this förstörelsesglas.
This magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass, the one you can put around your neck and hold it like it stands out. And there was this one.
Yeah, that was in the.
It's a sewing and stitch and mending, I think it's called.
That was inside the sewing.
It's Danish.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of different stitches.
Beautiful,
in this book.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and it's like page after page. And this is from 1950 1959, I think it was.
And it probably came with a machine or with a sewing table because the sewing table is from the 50s.
Höst och Sons Forlag, Copenhagen, 1959.
You know what? I'm sure it has been. This has been with the table since the table was.
I guess it was.
Yeah.
Probably. There's like, how many pages? 63 pages of different stitches. And when I found this book again now, I was thinking, oh, I should do like these nice stitches when I put on the ribbons on the sewing book. But then it took forever. So I've changed my mind. I'm taking them out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make a pile of this. And can you imagine having this in your bookshelf?
Yeah.
Instead of having this
so
on your desk and table and everywhere.
So we're turning this to this. And I'm sure I don't know if do you guys need a pattern for this? We are planning to make, we could do one if you needed one, but it is pretty easy, really.
It's easy.
I mean, it's just fabrics. You sew them together. You make the pockets. You make the flaps. But anyway, do comment if you believe in patterns.
I prepare more.
Oh yeah, and still with our fabrics.
This is not ours. This is old fabric. Look at this fabric. It has all these applique things.
Yeah, this is a Swiss. I remember the brand. This is a fabric from a Swiss company called Weissbrut, who makes luxury fabrics with a lot of. I mean, they're all in silk. And this is from the time we were in the fashion business. We have actually used that fabric in our collections.
And in the inside, the dots are from our collection, and this is a lace.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That I'm going to put on top of a blue silk.
A blue silk, yeah, beautiful.
So I actually attached two on this one. There's a yellow lace for another one here.
And the lace is from Solstice in France, another one of those incredibly.
But this is also the applique
companies.
thing. You see, it has like a relief.
And we have a lot of these leftover fabrics from the time we were in the fashion industry. I mean, usually we'd go to the Paris Fabric Show and we'd order the swatches, and then we'd come home, and then 3 weeks later we'd get like piles of fabric swatches, and we've saved every one of them.
I have one more,
Yeah.
the same pattern, different.
Yeah, I love that fabric.
What do you call that? Sequence?
Sequence, yeah.
Sequence. And on the inside it will have a blue silk and this lace on top of a toile, a muslin, a cotton fabric. We just had this piece of lace.
Yeah.
It works when you sew it down.
Somebody was asking about a tutorial on how to make the sewing cases.
Yeah, actually I talked to Anna about that when she were here, because I was working on them when she and Eric was here, and I said we have to film that next time.
We will. I mean, definitely.
Because it's so fun.
It's fun and it's easy.
Another crazy quilt.
Yeah.
And that will be the inside.
And one of the things that we want to go into more in our channel is quilting, patchwork, and all of that.
And sewing.
So
we have sewing ideas.
This is a great one. This is I don't know. Can you spot it? Can you see it in the?
Where did this come from?
Where does this come from?
Oh, so Valentina. We have to work on Valentina.
We do, yeah.
As soon as we finish other stuff. This is the curtains in this room.
The leftover fabric from our curtains.
And that's our fabric, and this is old lace fabric again on silk. So there's so many books.
So many books. Oh, I love the bird.
Oh,
I love the bird.
This is old fabric we got from a lady who gave us a box with old embroidery pieces. And this was unfinished. So this is now the front of the book. And on the inside it's the blue silk and the
sablé fabric.
Sablé.
Now this is another.
Look, this is hairy on the edge.
So this is another fabric that we use, and this one we used a lot in when we were in the fashion industry. It's a jacquard weave, but what they do is they when they weave it, they cut the threads on the top.
So you can see.
So it's actually woven like an intarsia. It's only around the flower, and when the light blue fabric thread is not under the black one. It's cut on the top with a metal knife, and it's a little bit hairy around the fabric. So it's kind of like a sablé, you know, the same you do with a champagne when you use the sable to. Yeah, it's
and
beautiful
the bird
fabric.
is beautiful. there were actually 2 birds on the fabric, so there will be 2 books with birds. And then the last one, no, I have prepared more.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
I prepared this one. I found this sewing machine fabric somewhere in England, I think, and the inside has this. I have to find something for the pocket. That will be a very nice book. And no, this was the pocket.
Yeah.
It will have the pocket with the sewing machines.
And then there's one more with our fabric on it.
Yeah, this is also, that's our fabric, and then on the inside our fabric and gingham.
Yeah.
So this is it's a very fun project, and I think when we have enough books now, we can have 1 book for each needle size. It will be very handy.
You have to show the stack now.
Yeah, so this is how the stack will look when you put it in the bookshelf. And I was also thinking today, Carl, I should make 1 travel kit.
Oh, yeah, that would be
way.
great. Yeah, that where you can put all the things you need for travel.
For like, I could make one where I have pencils and some color, like what you call that? Pencils and crayons.
Crayons, yeah.
And then you could make a pocket on the side, like half of this will be a pocket, and then I put in my little sketchbook.
Yeah.
Because I use a sketchbook and I rip the paper out of the sketchbook and then it go into the scrapbook.
Yeah.
But see, this will be so much nicer than having all the cups around.
Yeah, big thumbs up from me. And I think there's a big thumbs up from a lot of people because I'm reading a lot of very positive comments.
Yeah.
Sit in it for a bit has become sit and sew for a bit.
For a
so
bit.
far, there's no knitting, only sewing, but you know.
But I have another idea
Well,
here.
needles are for knitting, so
Yeah,
it is a little bit of knitting.
Because I make only 1 size so far, and then because we can get the long, not the really tall. This one, I need something else for, but there are shorter needles. So I put on a piece of lace, and then you see it's not so deep. So then you can have shorter needles on this side, and on this side,
Yeah,
longer needles.
very clever. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's my new cleaning project.
Yeah,
It takes time to clean in this house.
it does, yeah. But, you know, we're moving slowly. Only issue is that everything has moved from Arne's room to the dining room and the kitchen. It's driving me a little
But
nuts.
I decided
But
tomorrow.
I'm thinking, okay, it's just a few days. It's just a few days, and then it'll.
Tomorrow it will be fine because tomorrow I'm going to move the knitting machine and I'm going to put the sewing machine on that table.
Yeah.
And then
I also
because
know
I have
you.
to sew this, like I need to sew at least one every other day.
And then I know you because next week we're picking up the sofa that we have for reupholstery. And when we bring it back here, it will be on Thursday. When we bring the sofa back and we put it in the dining room, Arne is going to want to have the dining room in perfect order to enjoy the sofa. So I know that this is very temporary, and I know that I don't have to nag and say, "Oh, you have to move your stuff away,"
No, but
because
now
I know that he will.
But it's getting so clean now. My studio,
Really?
or the messy room is. I'm organizing. You
Well,
see.
that's good.
And I'm also continuing with my library,
knitting?
my stitch library, and now I have added this one, and
So you see, now we get into the knitting.
and
Sorry
this
for
one. I added
keeping you waiting.
this one we made for a Rowan magazine once. It's an old pattern.
From Rowan?
No, yeah, we made it for Rowan.
Oh yeah.
But this is an old traditional pattern, and then this is the chart that we make, and that's like a scarf we made in this.
Oh yeah, that
technique.
one. Yeah, I remember now.
But now I feel like I'm really getting things in order.
That's good.
Because having all these knitting patterns in the books makes my life so much easier.
Yeah, it does actually. But it does. It does. Yeah.
But then I'm working on something that is really not easy, and that is I'm going through all the scrapbooks now, and I find all the drawn knitting charts that I've collected, and
Yeah, okay, yeah.
and I will try them. So in this book, I have this one, like look this one, and I try to understand this chart, and I can't understand it. So I think you just have to change it, because there are a lot of yarn over in this pattern, and there's never two together. And when you look at the drawing, it goes straight up. But with all those yarn over and no two together, it wouldn't go straight up.
Yeah.
It will be bigger and bigger and bigger. So I need to change it, but Freya, wait. So I've started over again, and now it starts to look like this. So now we're actually we're going to change it into our, I guess.
Yeah.
It won't be looking like the one in the book, but then
Yeah,
at least
you take
I have tried
you
it.
tweak it, you make a little, you have a little fun with it, and then voila, you have something.
Then I have tried it, and then I can put the note in the book. Tried it. And in this one, there was only one old pattern like this, lace pattern.
So we're sitting in the room that we sat when we did our Advent calendar last year, and I think the sofa became quite famous with that Christmas countdown, which was 24 episodes, and we were here all the time. This is because we filmed it, as we told you guys before, we filmed it in advance, and we needed to do it, and we filmed it in 2 days, and we needed to do it in a way that was easy, quick, and efficient. So this is where we filmed it. And I mean, I've just gotten round to finishing reading all the comments. We had the competition, and we selected a random winner using a comment generator. So we never really had to read comments. Anna has read a lot of comments, and she's been replying a lot, but I haven't gotten round to doing it until now. And I saw that a lot of people were wondering about the cushions that are on our red sofa. So I thought I'd give you a little tour of them and show you the little things that we have. And we're very fond of them. I'll start with the bigger ones, and then I'll go to the smaller ones. On both sides of
Where are you? Where are they?
They're here.
Under you.
Yeah. So on both sides, of the sofa, we have these very beautiful. These are silk velvet ikat cushions, and the back has an ikat weave as well. I think it's in cotton. No, this is in silk as well. So silk velvet ikat. We really love color, and we really love textiles from Central Asia. These are probably from woven in Uzbekistan or something.
I don't remember.
But we really love
We
these.
probably have it in writing somewhere.
Yeah. And I recently actually changed the cushion inside. I thought the cushion was too hard. So now I have a really nice down cushion. Actually, it's a pillow for sleeping. It's from IKEA. And they also have down pillows in IKEA. And theirs are smaller than the regular size. So this is perfect. And now this is really soft and squishy. So when you sit down, you kind of sink in, and the cushion is not in the way. So that's number one. And then there's another one on the other side, so we don't need to show you that. So the second cushion that we have is also from Central Asia, not Central Europe. And this is a Suzani cushion, and it's embroidered.
That's a nice.
Yeah, I love this one because it's a geometric design, and it's actually usually the Suzani cushions are with florals. But this one has a geometric pattern, which is really nice. And actually, I think it's more modern. So it's very, very cool. And again, this one has an ikat weave on the back.
But this is embroidery.
This is all embroidered, yeah. This is all like, embroidered in silk. So it's a beautiful, beautiful cushion.
It's like the duplicate stitch when you go.
Yeah. And we haven't embroidered this one. Then you can talk about the next one.
This we found in, was it in a thrift shop in Spain?
In Malaga.
In Malaga.
About 10, 12 years ago.
And we really loved this one. One who plants a garden plants happiness.
Yeah, so
that is so cute.
So I was with him. This is the time when I didn't like thrift shopping, but I did see this cushion, and I told Arne that we have to have this cushion because of the words in it. One who plants a garden plants happiness is our motto.
We had this for so many years.
Yeah, and we actually included this cushion in our knit and crochet garden book.
Yeah, there was pictures.
So we had a lot of pictures of this cushion in the book. And this is our motto for sure. And it's done in petit point. It costs nothing. I think it was.
And there's actually 2 different stitches here.
Yeah.
The letters are an even smaller petit point.
Yeah, it's probably done with a thinner.
Where there's 1 stitch on the background and the flowers, there's 2 or 4 stitches on the small one. I don't know if you can see close up. So very nice.
It's beautiful, and I really love this one. But I have one more that I'm very, very attached to. I love this little one. This one's tiny, and this one also sits on our sofa. And we bought this in a flea market in Copenhagen, just behind the Christiansborg Palace, which is the place where the parliament in Denmark or in Copenhagen is. And we were there with some very dear friends from the USA.
Yeah, we did some shopping.
Yeah, and this one has, this one is actually in cross stitch. It's cross stitch.
That's cross stitches.
Yeah. You see it?
Yeah.
It's a cross stitch
so
embroidered little cushion that looks like it could have been in petit point. And then it has a beautifully soft velvet back.
Yeah, but this also have velvet on the back.
And somebody just commented, "Oh my God, so darling!" And that's exactly the word I wanna use for this one. It's darling.
I want to do more like small pillows, like
Yeah.
the one we did with the mandrill, which is a little bigger, more squared. I want to do more, but I need to save my hand for a while because I still have that treatment but it's getting better.
So it's super. They're super cute, and these kind of flea market finds that you just buy. I mean, this one I'm sure I didn't pay more than $10 for or something, and you still become very attached. And there's a story there because our dear friends were with us, and we had it was a really nice trip to Copenhagen.
And I think we got a polar bear as well.
We got a few of the polar bears.
I think one on that flea market.
Yeah,
a pillow and a polar bear.
Yeah, from Royal Copenhagen, we collect those. It was a really nice trip, and the weather was stunning. Remember, it was sunny. It was beautiful.
Very nice day.
And we were so delighted to show our friends Copenhagen.
Yeah. And we drove back home from Denmark in the evening, and we came home very late that night.
Yes, we did.
And on the way up from Denmark, we drove around in the south of Sweden, where your parents now live.
Yeah.
And we actually dropped by some of the thrift shops.
Yeah, we did.
And I don't remember, did I talk about the painting last time? I think I talked about the painting.
We're going into that now.
Yeah, because I saw a painting in a thrift shop close
Sweden.
to his parents, and that was one of the shops where we went with our friends after we bought this one.
Yeah, yeah.
And
he saw a painting of a clown on Instagram, and he just
so
couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go, and Arne was so upset that the store was closed when we were there. And I just said to him, you know what? You're seeing it on Instagram. Why don't you just send her a direct message?
I wrote to the shop, and now it's mine.
Yeah.
Carlos' father.
My dad bought it.
Went there and he picked it up, and now he's waiting for us in Sweden. A clown.
So he saw it on Instagram. He wrote a direct message to the lady. The lady replied that the painting was available.
Yeah.
It was not expensive.
No. It's a thrift shop.
And then Arne called my dad and said, "Could you pick up the painting, please?" And my dad went, picked it up, and we wired him the money, which, by the way, arrived today, he told me.
Good.
So he has the money now.
So the painting is mine.
And the painting is now hanging in his bedroom because he said it was so big. He had to hang it on.
And he said it was so beautiful.
Yeah, he actually liked it.
I'm not sure if I can get it back.
Oh, you'll get it back. I mean, it's yours.
I had to have it. And we had a discussion because you don't like
No,
clowns.
I'm afraid of clowns.
But you won't be afraid of this one because this one is so cute.
Yeah, I've seen maybe too many of those horror stories.
You shouldn't watch these movies.
So, but can you imagine opening the curtain of your window in the middle of the night and a clown staring at you?
Don't say it. It's dark outside. Don't talk about it.
I'd freak out. And
well, if it was a nice clown.
I'm sure everybody would.
Not this clown.
Everybody would definitely freak out for that. But anyway, there's a clown coming, which is nice.
But this today, I've been working on those needle books, and I knew I had a whole suitcase of embroidery yarn and embroidery fabric, and most of it was from the dead lady.
Oh yeah, the dead lady. We haven't spoken about her for a while.
No, because I haven't done a lot of embroidery. And now I can't find the suitcase. I've been looking all over this house,
So you
and
see, you do
the
need to
other
clean.
house, the third house, and I can't find the suitcase.
Yeah, you really need to clean.
But that's what I'm doing,
mean,
and then
organize.
people let things disappear. But I was looking for the embroidery piece. I found a lot of stuff in the other house, which I took in because I have to organize it. And look, yeah, more crazy quill. Wow, and even one more, and one more.
Okay, so it looks like we have a lot of new viewers, and we have to quickly explain the old lady because we have a lot of running gags here on our podcast, and some of them go way back. So the dead lady, for those of you who don't know, there's a thrift store in the village closest here, and Arne goes there and he buys projects that he then finishes here. So unfinished objects. And we've been philosophizing about the owner of the projects because there's so many. And we're thinking she was either blind or she went blind and she couldn't do her crafts anymore and she handed them in, or she may have died and her ancestor, or sorry, not her family brought it to the store so that it could be sold there. So it's one of those two, we think. So we call her the dead/blind lady. So now you know that.
Yeah.
And usually we show what Arne buys, and then we show what Arne does with it afterwards. But we haven't been working on any of those for a while.
Look, I found this one.
Oh, this is really nice.
We had this one in the collection.
Yeah, we use this in the fashion.
We still have, this is how many years old?
That's about, it's like 23, no, 20
years old.
21, no, 19.
There's flowers and birds.
It's Chinese.
It's Chinese. This is so beautiful. And we use this in the crazy quilt.
Yeah.
And then I found more knitting patterns. And I don't know why we have, well, I know, because we don't remember what we get. So we have, these are very old. And there's two of them. Two of these. And there's some notes there. Oh yeah. This is the one who made it wrote down how many stitches she needed and which color. And I found this one also. We have to organize these things also. This is from Who's Ridden, a nice one. And this is for kids, I think.
And here I found something valuable, actually. I found something very valuable here.
It's been lying out there for a long,
long time.
So
this is a fringe. We got this some 20 years ago as well. This is a gold fringe that is antique. And we actually bought a lot of this. Well, not a lot, but enough to put around some cushions that we have upstairs. And to me, these are quite valuable. So maybe we can do something with this. Put it aside.
Keep it somewhere.
And keep it somewhere where I know where it is.
And I found more unfinished doll clothes. So there's one sweater, another one.
Yeah,
I think these are from the same pattern.
I like this one. I like the dress.
And the dress.
It's for Blythe.
All these are for Blythe.
And
this is a tiny one.
But this dress is actually knitted with very thick yarn, so it's very few stitches. It's very cool.
This one is very short. I think I have the patterns somewhere. And then, now this must be the egg sweaters we made once.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I like this one too. Oh, this is a Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Yeah, this one is nice. This is
inspired.
It's which yarn is this?
It's some maybe fleece. What's it called? Brushed
like
fleece.
I
think it's brushed fleece from Rowan, actually, Arne.
Maybe it's nice.
Brushed fleece, I think. Yeah, she's very spoiled, isn't she? It's Blythe.
This is for Blythe, and I made so you can have buttons in the back.
Very nice.
So, but I just have to find the patterns. I think I have the patterns somewhere, but I have no
clue. Maybe you know what? If you hold up that Jean-Paul Gaultier sweater again, well, it's not really, but. You know, maybe a nice fringe skirt.
Yeah.
A nice fringe skirt would go really well with that. I mean, if you style it.
You can use those on the Blythe dolls. So, but now I have to organize this again. I put it in the Blythe cupboard.
Yeah, and you organize it.
Or the Blythe suitcase. And I was so sure when I have all these suitcases with things organized, I could find things, but not today.
No.
I could not find that.
So Arne, time is flying. We are pretty much, we're pretty much already into this podcast and way through. And we need to finish, not yet, we're still gonna keep going for a while, but we have a lot to get through and there's a lot of important stuff to get through.
This is,
this is all.
but I also finished the gray one.
Oh, okay.
And I have a light gray one on the needle. I have 7 balls left now of this. And I will put them in a box.
Yeah.
And then it's organized.
Good. So anyway, we have to get through a lot of formalities as well today because time goes by so quickly. And February is almost here. And we didn't take a break in January. So we have been doing Sit in It for a bit all of January, which has been great. Now, February, we have what I was going to say. In February, we have a knit-along. Duh, that's what I was going to talk about. We have a knit-along starting next week here on Sit in It for a bit. And we are very excited about it. And we're going to dedicate the end of the podcast to give you all the information so you can participate with us. We want you all to be as prepared as you want to be. But if you're not prepared, you don't have to be. If you're not going to join the knit-along, you can still join Sit in It for a bit. Because we are going to be, the knit-along is not going to be a full hour every Wednesday. We're going to keep our Sit in It for a Bit podcast as is, and we're just going to have a section in it where we have the the knit-along. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's how it's going to be. Now, we're going to reveal the project. We actually already have. So if you are a subscriber of our newsletter, you already know the project. If you're not a subscriber of the newsletter, you don't. But we sent out the email today at 3 o'clock European time. And at the same time, we posted it on our blog. So if you haven't received all the information in writing through the newsletter, you can go to arnecarlos.com and you can choose the blog. And then you can go in to the post about this. Now, we're not going to reveal the whole field guide, but I think the field guide will be available from today. And it has not been available other than on a subscription prior to today. But if you go now to Modern Daily Knitting and to Ravelry, you may find the field guide already now. If it's not there right now, it will be posted, within the next hours, tomorrow, or at the latest on Friday. Okay? So I'm going to reveal just the pattern or the design that we're going to do. And we got this yesterday in the mail.
Yes.
And we're very happy to finally get
We like to have
the field guide.
Paper.
So this is it. Okay. And we are going to be knitting a design that we have chosen to call, drum roll,
Sätesdal hat.
Yeah. So this is going to be what we will be doing here for the next few weeks. I hope you like it. I hope you're as excited as we are. And Arne and I have already been out there and we have our yarn.
We have
here are our colors.
And
I
I was thinking, since we're going to make 2 hats, I think I will change. So where it's blue, I use red. And red where it's blue.
Oh, okay. You're going to use the same colors, but you're going to reverse them a little bit.
So I will have
tweak them a little bit.
I will have a blue hat.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
With blue rib, so the rib and the top will be blue, and then the blue will be red.
Yeah.
Because we can't go around with matching hats. Isn't
Well,
that
we
kind
can.
of embarrassing?
We can. No, it's not embarrassing, but
No?
it's like his and hers and his and his. We don't want to do that. So yeah, go ahead and reverse the colors. I'm gonna do in my hat exactly as on the picture, and I'm loving the color palette that we put together for this hat. It is really cool. Now this is the Norwegian wool that we have designed for Rowan, and it's called Norwegian wool. And the colors are also designed by us. And we have designed a palette of, I think we've got 13 colors. And the palette is actually done so that everything fits. So everything matches or doesn't. And so for us, this is a really good colorway. I love this colorway.
Very Norwegian.
So now some information about the yarn. As I said, it's Rowan Norwegian wool. If you have our newsletter, or if you go to our blog at arnecarlos.com and read the post, you've got links. You can go and click on those links, and it will take you to the Rowan website where you can see the yarn and where you can order it. And right now, so last week, the yarn was, coming in to the US. So there were issues for US people. They weren't, all the colors weren't there. But it's been restocked in the US, and all the colors are available now. So you can get it now. And if you get it now, you'll still be, you will still be in time.
Yeah, because we start the cast on party. When is that?
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a bit.
Okay, there's the cast
So
on
anyway,
party.
go to arnecarlos.com or check the newsletter, click on the Rowan link. Also, Modern Daily Knitting, they have done a bundle. You can actually buy the 6 balls of yarn there through their bundle. And, the links are there as well.
But that's only if you're in America.
Yeah, you can only buy the link or you can only buy the bundle from MDK if you are in North America. If you're in Europe, you have to go through the Rowan website, and the Rowan will ship anywhere. The good thing about getting all the 5 colors at Rowan is you'll get free shipping, regardless of where you are in the world. So,
and if you're in Norway, we know that there's a store in Tromsø who has the yarn.
Yeah.
Bunningen
in Tromsø.
has the yarn. You are in Norway.
And yes, somebody's asking if this is the same yarn as as we had in Fleece and Harmony. It is. Yeah, it's up to you if you want to change the colorways. You can do whatever you want, and we're not gonna get upset if you change the yarn either. But keep in mind that the hat has been designed with Rowan Norwegian wool in mind, so it might actually come out a little bit differently because this yarn is not. It is DK, but not quite. So it is quite difficult to find a substitute.
You can get a different hat,
Yeah.
different size.
So
You never know. But
so that's the yarn situation. It's available at on the Rowan website now, both in North America and otherwise in the world, and free shipping because if you purchase all the 5 colors. So that's that. Now the field guide. There's been a lot of questions about the field guide. So up until now, the field guide could only be ordered in North America as a subscription for, I think it was $65. For $65, you could buy the subscription, which means you'll get a certain number of issues, I think 4 or 5 maybe. Now from today is the day when the field guide is now no longer a subscription. It's actually, you can only buy the field guide. So if you want to buy the Field Guide 23, which is our field guide by itself, you can do so now. If you're in North America, you can buy the printed version, and you will also get the PDF for immediate download, and you will then get the printed version in the post. You can do that in the US and in Canada for $15.95 US. If you're not in the US and Canada, you can now buy the digital version for $9.95. And you can do it. It's available in the Modern Daily Knitting website, and it's also available in the Modern Daily Knitting Ravelry store. So right now, if it's not out there, it's going to be out there within a day or 2 for sure, and that's what they've told me. So you can just go and get it now. And so from today, the yarn should be available for everyone, right? We had one question there I wanted to address. Somebody was asking if it's soft. Yes, this is Norwegian wool, but it's spun in Italy and it's spun beautifully. So it's a very soft yarn, and the more you work with it in your hand, the softer it gets.
And when you steam it,
it's very soft.
It softens up even more. So it should be good.
Yeah, you should all be good. Now, we are starting the Knit Along live on February the 1st from Oslo. We will be live from Oslo because we're going to be in Oslo that evening. But we are doing a cast-on party and a launch party together with Modern. Oh, you see, it is already out. So the field guide is already out on Ravelry. So you can go there now and you can buy it now. So go to Ravelry and get it there from Modern Daily Knitting. Okay. So anyway, on January 31st, which is Tuesday, at 6 p.m. Central European time, so our usual time, which is noon in Eastern time in North America, we are doing a launch party and a cast-on party with Modern Daily Knitting through Zoom. And if you received our email newsletter, there's a link there. Click on that link and your email address down or whatever, and then you get the link for the Zoom meeting sent to you. It's free. And if you didn't get my newsletter that I sent you today, or that we sent you today, go to arnecarlos.com and go to the blog, and you'll find the link there. So there's a free Zoom party on the 31st of January, which is Tuesday.
So we have to hold back now. We can't cast on.
So we're casting on during the party.
Okay.
Well, we're aiming to do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, and we're launching the field guide, and we'll talk about the field guide there. And then the day after, on Wednesday, February 1st, live from Oslo, we will start the knit along. We'll talk about the
and show how far we are.
Yeah, we're going to be sharing tips and hacks, and go through things that people might find difficult.
Yeah, and then people can ask.
And people can ask questions.
Difficult.
And if you have been, if you have been wanting to try color work but haven't, you have the chance now. So it is really, really a good opportunity, and we are here. We can guide you and all of that.
And I think we also make these short videos for YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah,
just
we will.
To do some of the tips on short videos.
But we have more, Arne. We have more information for you guys. There's no knit along without a competition. Okay?
Of course, we have a competition.
So we have a competition, and the competition starts next week on February 1st. We will not consider anything before February 1st, but on February 1st, you can start posting. So it's an old-fashioned, we want to see your progress. So we want you to post images of your hat in progress on Instagram and on Facebook. And we want you guys to tag them with the following hashtags: hashtag arnecarlos, hashtag modern daily knitting, sorry. So hashtag arnecarlos and hashtag modern daily knitting. You can find information about the competition on our blog as well, or in the newsletter.
And do you write modern daily knitting or MD?
No, you write modern daily knitting, the whole thing, hashtag, yeah. And
not that I'm going to participate.
And you do the hashtag arnecarlos. So the knit along starts on February 1st. The competition starts on February 1st. Anyone can enter the competition, and anyone is eligible to win. When we finish up the knit along in the end of February or beginning of March, we will select a winner randomly, and the winner will win, Arne.
The winner will win enough yarn for... Can I say what it is?
You can say what it is, but we're not going to show it yet.
No, for a sweater.
Yeah, the sweater.
All the yarn you need for the sweater.
Yeah, so since you're buying the field guide, and since the field guide has 4 patterns, there is a sweater pattern. If you win,
you get the yarn for the sweater.
You'll get the yarn for your size.
Not for the small things.
No, you get the yarn to knit the whole sweater in the field guide, and you can choose one of all the different sizes there. There's plenty of sizes, so whatever size you are, we've got you covered. You will get the yarn, but that's not it. We're also gonna give, together with the yarn, you guys are gonna get these amazing sets from Prim.
These are so cool.
These are so cool, and each needle has a different color. And these are all the sizes 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. And you can use the 3 and 3.5 to knit the sweater, because this is the 80 centimeter. So you get that. And you also get this set of double points DPNs in all these different colors. And I love it because they're all in pinks, as you can see. Pinks, all from the little old-fashioned pink to the more purple and lilac.
I like colors on needles. It doesn't look like we like it, because there's not much color in this.
Yeah.
There's a green one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So one winner will get this, the needles and the yarn to knit the sweater. So remember, we are not considering any entries until February 1st. But once we get to February 1st, you can comment and you can post your pictures on Instagram, Facebook, if you want to post them here in the community as well, and hashtag them, and we will consider. And we would also like to encourage you to do one thing. once you are posting your images and tagging us, we will go through all the tags and all the images daily. And if you want to ask questions, I think it's actually better if you ask your questions in those images, so in the caption. So post an image of your project and ask the question you may want us to answer. We will read these. We will read the captions on all the entries, and then we'll do like a general question, frequently asked questions or whatever, instead of actually going through the comments, because that will take longer. So that's my tip. Do that. Yeah.
Huh.
And this is
Cool.
exciting.
So-
And one more thing. There's going to be so Modern Daily Knitting, if you go to their website and if you look up on the left-hand corner, they have something called the Lounge. The Lounge is a series of forums, and it's part of their community. There will be a thread there for the Field Guide 23 Hat Knit Along for Arne and Carlos, and everybody can join the forum. So if you want to, discuss with your fellow knitters, if you want to exchange experience and stuff like that, all you need to do is join the forum for Modern Daily Knitting and the thread that will be opened. So that's also pretty cool. So I guess you will all be super busy.
But not before when was the party? The starting party?
The day before the knit along.
The day before.
So January 31st.
31st.
Yeah,
Then we can cast on.
Yeah, so on January 31st, we will be there with Anne and Kay, and we will be talking about the project, and they will probably interview us, and we will answer questions, and then we do the knit along.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So now we just have to start and hold back. We can't finish the hat in 2 days.
Well, that's not going to be a problem for me. That's for sure.
No, I have so many things I have to sew. So.
Yeah. Somebody was asking. I saw somebody asking about the material. They're metal. They're probably made of aluminum.
Aluminum.
But it doesn't say.
This one says.
No, they just say that they're in metal. Double-pointed needles in metal. 4 sets of 5 needles in 1 set. Vibrant colors make knitting socks even more fun. Precisely 4 needle points and very smooth surface make knitting rounds easier.
This one says these colored circular knitting needles particularly appeal with their perfectly shaped needle point and a very smooth surface. Yeah. The curved end of the needles follows the natural hand posture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a little curve there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very nice. So it is.
But I like the colors.
Yeah.
There should be color on every needle.
So I know for sure that I won't have problems, following the pace of the knit along. Arne may have a big issue with that because you could probably knit
No,
the
but I'm
hat
gonna
in a
knit.
day.
I can knit other things from the.
Yeah, well, you'll
from
have
the
to knit
field
a little
guide.
bit, and then you'll have to stop because otherwise you will go through this like
I
crazy.
can do many things.
And we have intentionally not shown you any of the other designs in the field guide yet because we want, we designed this for Modern Daily Knitting and for Anne and Kay. So we want them, we want you to discover the guide through them first. But next week, we will share the other projects as well. So you'll be able to see what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay. So our 15 minutes are up.
Did we say everything? I think we.
I hope
said
so.
everything.
If we didn't say everything, check out the email we send in the newsletter if you subscribe to our newsletter. And if you don't, go to our blog and check it out there. And remember, there's a link there so you can sign up for the Zoom. And another thing that I saw somebody asking, yes, the Zoom will be recorded. So if you do not have the opportunity to be there for the Zoom, it will be replayed later on as it will be recorded.
And there's another comment. Someone asked, who is Blight? And Blight is Barbie with a very big head.
Yeah, Blight is a doll.
So if you go back on last Wednesday, we showed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was made in the 1970s, designed and made in the 70s. It's an American doll. It never took up. It never picked off or took off. Sorry, it never took off, and it did not become very popular. But it became extremely popular in Japan, and otherwise in the world, there's kind of like a cult following of people who love Blythe. So if you're interested in finding out more about her, all you need to do is Google Blythe, Blythe, or you can check out our episode last week, as they were heavily featured in that episode.
I have to show you something before we leave. This is so cool. Look at this one. I found this one in my mother's stash, or my father's stash. And this is actually for when you screw, and then there's a lid on top, and you put the screw thing in here, so you can put in different sizes on that side.
Oh.
But my mother,
Yeah, of course, your mother.
she used this one for needles, sewing needles.
Yeah, we'll do that. Like that.
That is so cute.
That's very
So
Arne's mother.
this is a very nice thing too.
And it has very sentimental value.
Yeah,
We would never
so-
want to lose this.
Put them back. They're all like big needles.
Yeah. So
Very nice needles.
you know that little sewing. I mean, not the sewing table, but we've got two little sewing not shelves. These little cupboards.
Yeah, yeah,
They're not even covered with drawers made by the nuns.
yeah.
So maybe we could keep that there so
You can
that
put
we
it
don't
there.
lose it. That would be a good idea.
Nice. And it says needles here.
Yeah.
Needles here. So
In case you forget, needles here.
this is a nice thing to have.
Okay,
Okay,
so this episode has definitely gone over what we usually allocate for it. So we do hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give us a big thumbs up. If you are a subscriber, make sure to turn on your notifications bell so that you never miss an episode. And newsletter. If you're not subscribing to the newsletter and you were, if you were not subscribing to the newsletter, you didn't get the email we sent today with all this important information. So we do highly recommend you do, so that you never miss anything else. But anyway, we're here now to tell you, you can see the newsletter also on our blog, so go there. And yeah, we can't wait for the cast on and launch party on January 31st at 12 noon Eastern time,
And
which
I've
is
never
6
been to a
p.m.
lounge party, so I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
6 p.m. Central European time.
To put on
And
the good shoes.
Put on the good shoes, and and we're going to the party.
Sharpen the needles.
And then we will see you live from Oslo on Wednesday, February 1st, for a new episode of Sit In It for a Bit and the Knit-along.
And then we're in a hotel room somewhere.
We'll be in a hotel room somewhere, yeah, because we're going to go out for dinner afterwards. We have to be social. And so, yeah.
Life is hard.
Life is hard.
So
So thank you
thank
so
you.
much for watching, and see you very soon.
see you. Bye.
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 I have to go and make more sewing.
Yeah, and I have to go make dinner.